Hi, everyone. Today we're here with Nicole Halliwell. She is a national drag entertainer. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
I am fabulous. How are you?
Good, good. We're so excited to have you on the blog today.
I'm honored to be here. I'm shocked that you even considered me. I love this. This is awesome.
Of course, we really loved your Winnie Sanderson look. You actually made number one on our top Halloween makeup looks this year.
I thank you for that. I was like, really me? After because you have all these glamorous, gorgeous divas giving you all these sexual characters, and there's Winifred Sanderson at the top, and I went, okay, I did something right. I made sure to share that. By the way, my friends got a big kick out of that. I loved it. It was great.
Oh, we're so excited. So tell us about what it was like to be at the Hocus Pocus 2 premiere. I heard you were there and I saw the pictures.
It was a shock at first. We got the invite at last minute, and uh, Disney is being a lot more inclusive lately. They've always been inclusive, but they're being a lot more inclusive lately, especially when it comes to rolling in trans culture and drag culture into their movies and TV shows and the things that they produce. And we knew that there was drag queens in the movie, and that they had also trans women that were played characters as well, which we love. But we found out at the last minute they were including and inviting cosplayers and drag entertainers to show up at the premiere. So we had a chance to go, thanks to my great friend Alan Weiserman. Hi, Alan, I love you. And we showed up at the red carpet, which actually was a purple carpet there. And because of the uncanniness of my team of lookalikes, myself and my two partners that play the Sanderson sisters, we were able to be put out onto the red carpet in front of the press and all the media, who got a real big kick out of us, especially me, because I looked so much like Bette Midler. And it was a surreal experience from beginning to end. Not only being there and being part of the press and seeing all the media attention we were getting, but then standing in front of Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy, which I have idolized my whole life. So that was, I think, surreal is the term that I have to keep using. And to see them reacting to me was even more so. Kathy Najimy stopped dead in her tracks and just pointed at me and went, wow, because she worked so close with Bette. So that was such a compliment to me as it was. And then, of course, meeting Bette and getting that one photo that ended up being picked up by Getty Images and put all over the internet. And I think we're at like 400,000 likes now or something on the Disney page. It's crazy, crazy. But it was a lifelong dream come true, and a lot of work that went up to that moment. And that moment kind of just made all the years that I've spent playing this character and producing shows for Hocus Pocus all kind of made it worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. What first drew you to Winnie or Winifred?
Uh, I think it was the Bette Midler thing more than anything else. I remember very distinctly as a kid growing up and riding my bicycle to the local video store and renting Bette Midler movies. And I would always do that. And Big Business and just so many of the films that she was in the 80s and 90s, Beaches and the rest. And then when Hocus Pocus came out, I was immediately drawn to it because Bette Midler is in it. And I remember being about, I think, maybe 7 or 8 or 9 years old, standing on my bed in my bedroom pretending to ride a broom watching this movie, quoting along with her. So that's kind of one of the things that it was. Winnie is such a character. She's so demented in so many ways, and she's just outlandish and ridiculous. And the way that she conducts herself and how she deals with situations where she goes from 0 to 60 immediately, I always thought that was so funny. And the life that Bette Midler brought to that character, even now in the sequel, just drew me directly to it. So I thought one day I would love to do that. And then here I am, fast forward to starting my drag career, and I've made a career out of playing Winifred Sanderson.
The irony is real, but really you look uncanny. It looks amazing.
It
Absolutely
freaks me out
amazing.
too. It freaks me out too. Sometimes I'll watch the videos and I'll just be like, oh my God. Talk about commitment to character. It's ridiculous.
Wow. And what was it like meeting her, the legend?
Bette is so gracious and so patient and so wonderful. They were ushering her down the line, so I'm glad I even got a photo. Thankfully, Getty Images took such a liking to the likeness of the character that I was portraying that they were putting people in front of us intentionally. So I was very lucky to get that photo as it was, because that was the only photo she stopped for, really. But when she walked up to the junket of all the people on the side with all the cosplayers and people dressed up as the Sanderson sisters, she was nothing but complimentary. Oh, you look wonderful. I love the costume. She's pointing out the details and all of that. So just to see her to be so gracious, because I've heard from other people that she's not very nice. This it was all thrown out the window. She is absolutely wonderful. And I believe if she would have had more time, she would have stopped and probably talked to each and every one of us that was there. But they kind of ushered her off. But that moment that I got to share was great. And she smells nice.
So tell us about the look, right? So how long did it take you to become Winnie?
The process now is fairly fast, but that's because I've practiced this for many, many years. I've been doing this Hocus Pocus show now for about 10 years. So every year I have plenty of time to rehearse the look. The real work goes into not so much just the makeup, because I have the face for it and I know how to place it, but it's the costuming and the wigs and so forth. I have a great friend named Justin Lohr who runs Tease and Floof, which is his wig company. He does a lot for Broadway and theater shows. And this person is so talented when it comes to making wigs, and he was able to put this wig together to look as if it was stolen off the head right in the film. So that part really sets the stage there, because the hair is the most important thing. And a lot of people that try to cosplay Winifred, that's usually where the fail starts, is the hair doesn't look right, or it's not the right size or proportion to the face. So that kind of puts it together. So the hair is there, the costume is great. It's all replica from the screen itself. And then the makeup kind of ties it all together. Um, this wig, by the way, side note on this, is so many people saw it in a picture and started messaging this poor man who made this wig for me, to the point where he was making probably 100 of them, and he just said, no more, I'm never doing another Winifred wig again. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, this is all my fault. But I give, the makeup is a huge part of it, but the credit also goes to the costumers and the people that helped, like Justin, who made that wig, that makes the whole illusion come together. And then it's a little bit of besides makeup, it's face contortion as well. So I can paint it on very quickly, but it's also a lot of doing this for the whole day, trying to keep the face. So it's a little bit of everything. But I would say that the actively looking like Winnie is the entire process, is an on character thing. But the whole makeup look, maybe 45 minutes, maybe.
That's amazing, especially to get it done in 45 minutes.
You should be surprised how many times we get calls for booking. It's like, we need the Sanderson sisters in an hour and a half, and we're, put it all together and run out the door. But she doesn't have much of anything. She has no eyebrows. There really isn't much to her face. There really isn't big lashes or big lips. So thankfully, it takes the time down to be able to put a face on, and to get out the door quickly. But for the ones that you saw, like the movie premiere, and the other ones like Disney D23, I spent a little bit more time just to make sure that I was not only screen accurate, but up close you could really look at it and not see any of the details that you would see on drag queens faces, like glue from their eyebrows and that kind of stuff. So I put a little extra effort into it, just in case.
So tell us a little bit about the outfit that you wore that day.
That actually is a mix up of official Disney costumes that were released and then discontinued. Thank God I got them when I had time. And then also some very talented seamstresses here in South Florida that have been able to take the costume apart, modify it, and add a lot more to it to beef it up. So it was more than just a store bought costume. I'm not really a big fan of buying things from a store. Almost everything that I own, including all these racks and racks of costumes behind me, are all handmade, custom made pieces, including the wigs. But this costume, a couple of years ago, I think it was 2019, Disney had released a line of costumes that were screen replica. They were a little shortcuts here and there, but they looked really good. And I thought, if I take this apart and I add some more to it, it's going to look screen accurate. And now it does. So it's a little bit of everything.
Did you have any challenges with the look for being Winnie?
Yes. This is more of a personal challenge type thing. Out of drag, I don't live my life this way. I'm a dude 24/7. I put this on, go to work, and then take it off at the end. I'm Italian, so unfortunately, body hair and things gets in the way. And most drag queens, shave everything, this, that, and the other. I have to use nude paneling that covers up a lot of the unmentionable things that I'm trying to hide. And there's always an issue with costumes not fitting correctly once you put all that stuff on. So I think that was my only roadblock, is trying to cover up the things that you wouldn't expect Winifred Sanderson to have. But that's a drag issue more than anything else. Other than that, the costume is a real easy on. The wig itself, same thing. I really take a lot of great care to protect that costume, and also the wig itself. It has its own suitcase, which has a head built into it, so I don't have to just put it in a bag somewhere. And it sits atop its little head, and it's hilarious to put it through TSA, because they're like, "What the hell is that?" But it's fascinating, isn't it? That's something that people don't really expect. I have this one big, it's about this big. It's a black suitcase with a handle, and it's a wig tote essentially, and it's made for holding pre-styled hair so that it gets to your destination the same way that you left with it.
I did not know about that.
It's really helpful. Like, if someone ever styles a wig for you for a party or something and you have to travel
Mhm.
with it, that's the best way to do it. And they're not that expensive. You just have to know where to find them.
Yeah, your wig or your hair right now is gorgeous. I love it.
Thank you very much. This is styled by Carlos. He does all of my regular drag wigs, and he's one of the best in the industry. He actually supplies hair for not just local queens, but all over the world. And on top of that, he's made hair for RuPaul's Drag Race and several other appearances on television and so forth. So he's getting out there. It's Hats by Carlos on Instagram.